in Gray with your JCN News for this Wednesday, February 7th. Great having you with us.
Pursuant to Rule 88.3, the Speaker now orders that the 3 members withdraw from this Parliament and are not eligible to enter this Parliament again for the next 2 sittings.
What was expected to be the suspension of 1 PLP MP ended with an order for the remaining 3 to be suspended as well. You see, House Speaker Halston Moultrie returned to the lower chamber this morning with the full intention of determining just how long Anglican MP Glenys Hannah Martin would remain out of Parliament following what he called her disorderly and disrespectful manner that breached all 5 subsections of Rule 88.4.
The Chair recommends that the member for Anglican be suspended for 2 consecutive sittings of the House. In accordance with the provision of Rule 88, the question is now put to this Honourable House to determine the duration of that period.
When put to MPs, the motion was agreed upon by all FNM representatives, while PLP MPs, Party Leader Philip Davis, his deputy, I. Chester Cooper, and South and Central Andros MP Picewell Forbes objected. Mr. Davis' attempt to further defend Mistress Hannah Martin was met with the Speaker's response that he could do so, but only following the Chair's statement. It was soon after that the PLP MPs all followed their leader and filed out of Parliament, prompting the Speaker to call for their suspension as well. Mr. Moultrie then turned his attention to hitting back at comments retired House Clerk Maurice Tynes made in a letter to the editor. In it, Mr. Tynes took serious issue with the Speaker's comments last week that he doesn't know who is who and that he doesn't trust people until they earn his trust. Mr. Tynes said at best it was a snide reference to the House staff members' perceived political leanings, and at worst, the Speaker was questioning their devotion to the institution and their personal integrity. He added that either way, it was most ungracious of the Speaker, unwarranted, disloyal, and most unfortunate.
The retired clerk of this Parliament seemed to be having difficulty with his retirement and dealing with his retirement and staying out of the affairs of this Parliament, showed his true colors and provided the needed evidence to justify my statements, and in the process vindicated the position that trust should be earned.
The House Speaker further charged that he thought the retired clerk was his friend. In fact, he said when he served as the leader of the Bahamas Freedom Alliance, Mr. Tynes would call him all the time to provide him with the material to attack the Ingham administration. But he says it now appears that the apparently troubled Mr. Tynes was only trying to help the PLP, as he seems to be doing today.
All I can say at this time is thank God for attrition. Imagine trusting, waking, and relying on the advice of someone who has now publicly expressed his innermost feelings and the kind of political venom directed at the Speaker in a letter to the editor. Thank you very much, Mr. Retired Clerk. May your soul rest in peace.
In conclusion, the Speaker said his actions were within the rules. Well, the Chair scored high marks with FNM MPs, many of whom had prepared texts lauding Mr. Moultrie for the way he had conducted himself and the decision he had made.
Speaker, I think to all and sundry, they would see that given what you have spoken to in speaking to the scripture in and of itself, that you would have been true to yourself, true to this honorable House, and true to the Bahamian people.
If anybody else were to make assertions that were not backed up by evidence, they should suffer the same fate. And so I applaud you, Mr. Speaker. I applaud this great House for the course that it has taken. I hope that in my tenure here, that I can live up to the expectations and make the people of Elizabeth proud.
This morning you would have seen the honorable member for Cat Island, Bumpkins, and Salvador, while the Chair was speaking, sought to stand and disregard and disrespect the Chair once again. That is why, Mr. Speaker, you had to do what you do and nip it in the bud.
And it saddens me, Mr. Speaker, as Prime Minister of this Commonwealth, to have a member continuously show blatant disrespect for our Chair, this House, and for other honorable members of this House. But what you did in insisting discipline and showing your authority, you have shown our young people that authority must always be respect, because that disrespect can span all segments of our society.
You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.